There comes a moment in the life of a chosen one when everything starts to crumble. But in reality, it is the spirit rising. The body feels it, the mind resists, the emotions get tangled, and the world around you no longer seems the same. It is not just any phase. It is the beginning of a calling that can no longer be ignored. You begin to realize that things no longer make sense as they used to. Conversations seem empty. Places feel heavy. People feel distant. And inside you, a silent fire begins to burn. It is not pain. It is awakening. Something is being activated in the invisible. And you feel it, even if you cannot explain it. The spiritual awakening of a chosen one does not come calmly. It arrives breaking patterns, changing paths, revealing truths that have been hidden for years. It is intense, it is deep, and sometimes it is frightening. But if you have made it this far, it is because something in you has already begun. And what comes after this changes everything. In this video, you will discover 7 unbelievable events that mark the beginning of this awakening. Clear, real signs that show that you are no longer just another person, but becoming who you were born to be. Do not skip parts. Each point can explain exactly what you are experiencing right now. Subscribe to the channel. This keeps you close and helps to spread this message to others who are also awakening. The world does not need more of the same. It needs you. Awake. Now let's dive into what no one has told you about this process. Spiritual awakening does not happen only within the mind or the heart. The body feels it even before you understand what is changing. Without warning, without logical explanation, it begins to behave differently. You wake up feeling more tired or lighter. Your eyes gain a different shine. Something new is happening inside and reflecting outside. Some start to lose weight without changing their routines. Others feel as if something is being pulled from within. This happens because the body is trying to keep up with the soul that has awakened. There is a temporary misalignment between matter and spirit, but it is only for a time. The body is adapting to the new frequency. Changes in the face are common. Expressions soften or harden, depending on what is being purified. People around you may say that you are different, even without knowing why. It is because the energy surrounding you has changed. The light that was once contained begins to expand, and this is visible. You may experience inexplicable pain. Some parts of the body feel heavy, while others seem much lighter. There are nights of deep sleep and others with almost no rest. All of this is part of a realignment. The body is eliminating what no longer serves. Old traumas, trapped memories, repressed emotions. Everything begins to come out. The nervous system also feels. You may notice slight tremors, sensations of heat or cold, chills. The heart races for no reason, but it is not fear. It is activation. Your body is being tuned to respond to what comes from above. When the soul awakens, the body needs to learn to follow the new spiritual leadership. Some foods stop making sense. Taste changes. There is less impulse to eat and more desire for real nourishment. This is not a diet. It is divine intelligence guiding your instincts. The body begins to ask for what it truly needs, not what it used to compensate for emptiness. The energy also changes. You may feel more energetic on some days and completely drained on others. This is common. The spiritual flow that is passing through you consumes energy from the physical body. That is why resting, drinking water, and respecting your limits are now more important than ever. People may find you strange. Some distance themselves for no reason. Others may begin to admire you from afar. It is because your presence is no longer the same. There is something subtle, yet powerful, manifesting in you. Do not try to explain it. Those who need to understand will feel it. Those who are not ready will naturally distance themselves. Your body is a temple, and like every temple that will be used for something greater, it goes through cleansing, adjustments, and transformation. Do not fight against this. Accept each change as part of the plan. Your body is not betraying you. It is accompanying you on the most important journey of your life. Trust the process. Do not try to go back to what you were, because what is emerging now is your true form. The body is simply responding to the spirit that has finally awakened. You begin to notice that what once motivated you no longer matters as much. Old ambitions lose their luster. Hobbies lose their meaning. Conversations you once enjoyed become empty. This is not an identity crisis. It is a revelation. Your soul is taking the place of the ego. And when the soul takes over, life changes tone. Your essence, for a long time smothered by external expectations, begins to emerge. You stop trying to please everyone. You lose patience with the superficial. You start to see your own masks and, courageously, decide to take them off. The awakening stirs the roots of personality, and this is not always comfortable. Mood changes also happen. There are days of pure enthusiasm and others of deep introspection. It does not mean something is wrong. It means old layers are being peeled away. You are no longer becoming the version you built to fit in. You are becoming the version you were born to be. Some people may find this new phase strange. They will say you have changed too much, or that you are distant. But it is because you have stopped playing roles. And when you change from within, the relationships around you feel it. Not everyone will be ready to keep up, but those who are true will remain. You may also feel a greater need for silence, solitude, and reflection. Old distractions lose their flavor. New interests arise: spirituality, purpose, self-knowledge. What once seemed uninteresting now calls to you. This is not just any phase. It is the soul calling you inward, closer to God, closer to yourself. This transition can be frightening. After all, it is as if you are walking without a map. But something inside you knows it is the right path. Even without understanding everything, there is peace. Even in fear, there is courage. Because now it is no longer the ego guiding your steps. It is the essence. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding the illusion. And finally, you are finding out who you are. This change is a liberation. It is the beginning of a new journey. Lighter, truer, more aligned with what God has placed within you. When a chosen one begins to awaken spiritually, one of the first things that changes is sensitivity. Everything becomes more intense. Sounds, words, emotions, gestures, everything seems to carry more weight. You are not becoming weak. You are becoming more alive. Your spirit begins to react to things that previously went unnoticed. You enter a place and feel the atmosphere without anyone saying anything. You perceive sadness where there are smiles, feel lightness where no one notices. This is spiritual sensitivity. It is the soul picking up what is beyond the eyes. It's as if you are living without layers of protection, without a filter, feeling the world as it really is. Often, you feel deep joy over something simple. Other times you cry without knowing why. The energy of an environment can lift you up or bring you down. This is part of the process. Your soul is more open, more awake. It is learning to move in the invisible, not just in what is visible. The pain of others affects you as if it were your own. An injustice, an abandonment, a stranger's tear touches you in an almost physical way. This is not exaggeration. It is empathy in its purest form. And this empathy is not a burden. It is a tool. It is through it that God connects you to the mission. You may become startled by the intensity of all this. You may want to close yourself off, to protect yourself, to go back to being cold like before. But that is no longer possible. When the spirit awakens, it does not go back to sleep. Sensitivity is the sign that something great is being activated inside you. You begin to notice spiritual movements. You feel when someone is lying, even without proof. You sense when something is about to happen, even without signs. Your intuition becomes an accurate compass. This is not magic. It is spiritual discernment. It is your connection with heaven becoming clearer. This sensitivity needs to be cared for. Just as the body needs rest, the sensitive soul also needs silence. Reserve moments of solitude. Stay in touch with nature. Pray softly. Breathe deeply. Do not try to numb what you feel. Learn to embrace and channel it. Some people will say that you are too intense. Do not take it as an offense. The awakened feel more because they carry more light. Where there is light, there is truth. And truth can be uncomfortable at times. But it is precisely this light that makes you capable of touching, healing, guiding, and transforming. You were created with this sensitivity for a reason. It is part of your spiritual toolkit. It makes you different. Not to be better, but to be useful. God uses the sensitive ones to see what no one wants to see, and to love where no one wants to touch. If you feel everything more strongly, if emotions pass through you with intensity, celebrate it. Do not fight against your sensitivity. It is a sign that you are alive, inside, wholly. You are feeling more, because now, you are more. When spiritual awakening begins, something strange happens with time. It seems that everything accelerates. Things that would take years happen in weeks. Situations that seem stable crumble overnight. And what has been stuck for a long time suddenly breaks free. It's as if the universe is in a hurry, and you need to keep up. This acceleration is not a coincidence. It is a divine movement. The Spirit knows that there is something urgent waiting for you. The mission is calling you. And because of this, everything that was delaying you begins to be removed. Relationships, habits, routines. Nothing escapes. And the most impressive thing, you feel that inside you are also changing more quickly. Experiences that previously took years to be understood are now absorbed in days. Understanding increases, sensitivity expands, vision clears, and with this, your spiritual maturity leaps. It does not matter how old you are, your soul begins to move at another speed. But this pace can also be exhausting. Amid so many changes, you may feel that you are being pulled from within. Emotions come to the surface, old traumas resurface, forgotten wounds open, all at once. It is as if life is pushing you into a deep dive, with no chance of returning to the surface. This intensity is not punishment, it is treatment. God is drawing out of you what was hidden. He is clearing the ground for something new. Time is running fast, not to rush you, but to prepare you. Because what is coming demands a version of you that is lighter, stronger, more aware. It is common to feel confusion. It is common to want to hold on to what is leaving. But awakening requires surrender. The accelerated time is a sign that heaven is in motion. Something great is approaching, and you need to be ready. Do not fight against the speed. Learn to flow with it. And even when everything seems out of control, trust. There is an invisible hand guiding every step. The spiritual clock does not delay. If it is going fast, it is because the purpose is near. Stay steadfast. Your spirit knows the way. When spiritual awakening deepens, your way of seeing the world changes completely. And we are not talking about physical vision, but about something much deeper. You begin to see with the eyes of the soul. Everything that was previously unnoticed starts to gain color, meaning, depth. The invisible becomes visible. You enter into a conversation and feel what is behind the words. You perceive the truth behind the smile. You notice the hidden intention in simple gestures. This is not judgment. It is discernment. God removes the veil from your spiritual eyes so that you can see beyond the surface. And this changes everything. Often this clarity can be uncomfortable. You begin to see things you would rather not see. Lies, falsehoods, manipulations. Places where you previously felt at ease begin to feel heavy. People you once admired no longer seem so genuine. It's as if the soul starts to filter the environment around you. This sensitivity is not meant to instill fear, but awareness. It protects you. God is teaching you to listen to your intuition, to trust that inner voice you have ignored so many times. Because the truth is that your spirit has always known. Now, it is just more awake. Over time, you realize that you no longer need concrete proof. You feel, and what you feel is often enough. You begin to trust this silent wisdom, and this trust guides you securely, even when everything around seems uncertain. This spiritual vision does not make you better than others, but it makes you more responsible. Because seeing what others do not see is a calling, an invitation to action, to intercession, to healing. God shows you so that you can care, so that you can pray, so that you can transform. Seeing with the eyes of the soul also means recognizing the light hidden in people that the world ignores. It is perceiving potential where there is only pain. It is looking at a broken person and seeing a restored future. This vision is full of compassion. It does not point out the error. It reveals the way. But there is also loneliness in this process. Not everyone will understand what you see. Not everyone will believe what you feel. Sometimes you will appear strange, distant, even too sensitive. Do not worry. The awakened soul walks with a different step. And it's okay if not everyone can keep up. This new vision is a blessing. It illuminates your journey. It keeps you away from traps. It connects you with heaven in a real way. Each time you trust it, you align more with your purpose. What seemed confusing starts to make sense. What was hidden reveals itself. You do not only see the world, you begin to see yourself, your wounds, your gifts, your fears, your truths. Everything becomes clearer, and with clarity comes direction, and with direction comes peace, even in the midst of chaos. Seeing with the eyes of the soul is living awake, and living awake is a rare gift. Take care of it. It is the beacon that will guide you along the paths that God has prepared. One of the most painful and revealing changes of spiritual awakening is the breaking of bonds. People who walked with you for years begin to drift away. Conversations lose their meaning. Meetings become rare. What once united now feels strange. And it's not out of malice. It's due to spiritual incompatibility. You have changed. And who you are becoming no longer fits with who you were. This transition creates discomfort for those around you. Some say you have become distant, while others claim that you are not the same anymore. But what few understand is that you are just returning to your true self. The awakening soul begins to vibrate differently, and the vibration pushes away what is out of alignment. It is as if a new frequency has been activated. And this frequency no longer accepts relationships based on interest, manipulation, or superficiality. Only what is true, reciprocal, and light remains. At first, it can hurt. Loneliness sets in. The emptiness of certain old friendships affects your emotions. But as the process advances, new connections emerge. People who speak the same language, who understand you without explanations, who see your essence and not just your appearance. It's as if the universe is making a silent exchange. It removes what no longer serves and sends what adds to your life. You begin to find your spiritual tribe. People who were hidden but have always been connected to you in some way. They appear at the right time, in response to an old prayer. These new connections are not based on the quantity of time, but on the depth of soul. In just a few conversations, you feel a bond you never felt before. There is trust, truth, and support. They do not want to mold you. They want to see you flourish, and that is healing. Over time, you understand that you have not lost anyone. You have only been freed from ties that limited your growth. God has closed cycles to make room for the new, and the new always carries purpose. Even when it hurts, it is liberating. This reconfiguration of relationships also teaches you to value more those who remain. Those few who stayed, even without understanding everything but chose to respect your journey, are gifts. They show that true love does not demand explanations, only presence. You also learn that you no longer need to force yourself. Not everyone will understand your path, and that is okay. Some chapters of your story are written in silence, because only those who carry the same anointing can read them. True spiritual connections do not require effort. They flow. And when you meet someone who walks in the same light, there is no resistance, only growth. Conversation becomes prayer, presence becomes relief, and the journey becomes lighter. This new phase requires courage. Courage to let go, but also to embrace the new without fear. Because spiritual awakening does not isolate you, it repositions you. And in this repositioning, you find those who have been waiting just for you. Do not be afraid to lose what needs to go, nor be ashamed to receive what is coming. Each person in your life has a time and a mission. Honor those who have passed. Thank those who remain. And celebrate those who are arriving. Your tribe is being revealed. And with it will come strength, alignment, and purpose. Because no one awakens alone, and no one walks alone. At the right time, the right connections will find you. You might have tried to ignore this feeling. You may have attempted to live a common life, going with the flow just like everyone else does. But there is a silent restlessness that never goes away. A gentle voice that, even when everything seems confusing, whispers to you. You are not here by chance. There is something more. This certainty does not shout. It does not pressure you with explanations. It simply remains there, alive, constant, firm, in the depths of your soul. Even on the hardest days, it reappears. Even when you feel that you have no direction, it stays. And this constancy is the sign. Because those who carry purpose never feel complete in distractions. You feel that you have been sent for something great, but it may not always seem great in the eyes of the world. Sometimes your mission will be to lift someone who is about to fall. Other times it will be to pray silently for those whom no one notices. And at other times it will be to forge paths where no one has had the courage to go. God's purpose does not depend on a stage. It flourishes in secret, in the room, in the pain that taught you to be more sensitive, in the struggle that made you stronger, and in the love you offer even when you are tired. All of this is already part of the mission. You are waking up to something eternal. And this awakening reorganizes everything inside you. Your plans change. Your values change. You begin to say no to what does not build you up. And you start to say yes to what brings you closer to who you were born to be. This sense of mission is what sustains your walk. Even when no one understands. Even when it seems that you are walking alone. The truth is that heaven walks with you. And when you move with faith, purpose reveals itself, a piece at a time. You are not just another person. You are part of something much greater, an essential piece in an invisible, yet real plan. And if today your heart is beating stronger, it is because you are closer than you think. Closer to living what you were sent for. You feel that you have been chosen. And this feeling is not an invention, it is a memory. And if God planted this in you, it is because He Himself will guide you. Keep going. Walk. His plan is in motion, and you are a living part of that plan. The awakening of a chosen one is never light. It shakes, breaks certainties, and disorganizes everything that was comfortable. But it also brings clarity, power, and direction. If you have come this far, you are probably in the middle of this process. And even without understanding everything, something inside you already knows. You have been called. Each transformation you have experienced was not random. Every discomfort, every distancing, every feeling of being out of the world. All of it was part of a spiritual construction. God was shaping you in silence, in the invisible, for something that could only be delivered after the awakening. You are not going crazy. You are waking up. You are not losing yourself. You are remembering who you are. And this path, no matter how lonely it seems, is sacred. It puts you face to face with a truth that few see. You did not come into the world to be just another one. You are an answer, a channel, a bridge between heaven and earth. If this message resonated with you, comment below. Write what you felt. Share the strongest sign you recognized within yourself. Your story may be the encouragement that another chosen one needs to continue. And if you are going through the awakening now, know this: you are not alone. This channel is a space for those who carry something more. We will see you in the next video.